Hey guys, I really appreciate you coming and standing in front of this fantastic banner here. Can you help the team and everybody watching understand who Finigree is?
Sure.
And who each of you are?
Sure. So Finigree stands for financial, I stands for individual. We believe that individuals should own and control their data. GREE stands for agreement or consensus between interested parties in a transaction. We're from Omaha, Nebraska. We've been around for 8 years. I'm the CEO, Wes Miller. This is the co-founder, Ryan Berry, Chief Strategy Officer.
Fantastic. So guys, what gets you excited about the monetization of personal data?
The fact is that that we're able to achieve that and provide that to the communities that we're dealing with. But we're starting right now in the community banks sector specifically. We call it our micro-universe strategy. So we recognize that there's two main aspects that we can offer that others have yet to offer. The first is what we refer to as a smart network, which is a proprietary version of a social network, but it's built for businesses and banks that empowers individuals, primarily individuals that are customers of community banks, to own, control, and participate in the monetization of the data that they have and that those banks have on them. So that's what gets us excited.
Awesome, awesome. So you're talking about community banks, and community banks like to typically go after the locals who may not have huge bank balances, may not have the huge balance sheets, they may not be a major corporation, maybe some of the smaller businesses. How do you see the ability for them to control and monetize their data to really start to bring in more inclusion so more people can become banked?
So there's a couple different parts there, right? So the first is that there are really two parts to data. So there's the data and being able to record who owns that data, but the second part is the labor that goes into proving who that data is true. And so our technology records both of those things. We believe that community banks are a sort of institution of trust, and they sort of are that pillar of trust in their local communities. Consumers already trust them for their physical assets. And so what we do is we provide an online digital safety deposit box that banks can offer to their consumers so that consumers can also trust those same banks with their digital assets.
Well, and you actually just hit on the thing that I was going to ask, is like, how do I, as a consumer, know that I can trust them with my assets? With my digital identity? And now I'm happy and super glad that I'll be able to get compensated for the use of that data, but how do I know that I can trust them with that data?
Sure. So we provide them with state-of-the-art technology. Again, the idea is that community banks win when it comes to customer loyalty and trust, but they struggle when it comes to being able to afford the best technology that's available. And so we provide them with the tools that enable them to bring those customers on and provide that layer of digital trust, confidence.
So what I'm hearing is that you guys are really trying to help these smaller institutions innovate. And with that, how would you describe the innovation that you're bringing to them?
So there's a number of things. So when you look at how community banks thrive, they need deposits, right? So the first thing that we're doing is our technology is really devised of a number of studios. And when you look at any transaction that takes place in any instance, it involves 6 base elements. The first is an individual. So you need to have a persistent identity around me as an individual. The second is a corporation. So I might be acting on behalf of myself or on behalf of a company. So it's individual, organization, and then an asset. Am I going to buy an asset, secure an asset? So I need to have the data on myself, the organization, and the asset. And I mentioned data. Then the other aspect to that is everything begins with data. Data populates a document, and documents ultimately move money. So what we provide to community banks is that ubiquitous experience so they can provide to their consumers who trust them with next generation state-of-the-art technology that combines data, docs, and dollars around individuals, organizations, and assets.
That is fantastic. So for folks that are looking at the PACE Symposium, who do you say should attend and why?
Well, so far this has been an excellent event, and so I think as a young technology company, it's a great opportunity to meet others that share in some of those same experiences, but more importantly in a lot of the banks and the potential investors that attend these events. So it's a way to network and gain traction there as well.
So before we sign off, is there anything that you want to make sure that everybody gets to hear and understand from you and your company?
So we are Finigree, and we've reimagined what a social network could be. We call that a smart network. On that smart network, we've developed the ability for users to own, control, and monetize that data. And we provide payment mechanisms that make it really safe and secure to exchange funds. And so we've proven that in the real estate space, where we've moved over $200 million. And so that sort of proves that that is how money should move. And yeah, we're excited to be here, and we're excited to sort of this next stage to accelerate our growth and to be back in Dubai.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate the time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.